How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I head out to Telluride, Colorado. It was about a 7.5 hour drive, but as you can see from this video here, it's a beautiful scenery all the way out. The reason I'm doing voiceover is because I came out here with my cousin, and I didn't do a lot of filming for the first few days, but like I said, long drive, and then eventually we arrived here at our campsite at Alta Lakes. Very beautiful place, very good sunset as you can see. The next morning, me and him headed down into the town of Telluride. Really cool town. If you can ever get there, I suggest you go out and take a look. After a good breakfast in downtown Telluride, we ended up taking the ski lift there on the mountain. Very good views, very beautiful. After that, we headed to Bridalville Falls. Beautiful scenery, and as you can see, the town of Telluride down below. Mountain views all around. Very beautiful. You can either drive your truck here, or you could hike, ride your mountain bike, whatever you want to do, but I suggest you see it if you can. After checking out Bridalville Falls, we headed up a road called Last Dollar Road. It's a pretty well-known road in the area, and it's very flat. I drove my Subaru up here actually in an earlier video I did a few years back, so even if you have a just like a low car, you can still make it up. But we drove up to the top of the mountain here just for good views of the sun, and we took some good photos and some good videos. And again, very beautiful, very easy to get up. You can get this up there with your car if you needed to. So another good thing to check out. I didn't even realize I was on this road a couple years ago, but it ended up being this road, and I actually camped out at the top of this hill. We didn't do that this time around, but you can actually camp up here too if you want. So here we are at the top of Last Dollar Road. Really nice view. Beautiful day. Leaves turning. Got my Truly. Not bad. After a long day of exploring and off-roading, we ended up heading back to the campsite and just hanging out for the night, having a fire, enjoying some dinner. And then the next day, he actually went back home. I decided to go to Engineers Pass. Alright, it's day 3. We're leaving the campground. We were at Alta Lakes campground. Spent the last 2 nights there. It's a really nice campground, right on the lake, which is nice. But we're leaving today. We're going to Engineers Pass. Gonna drive that road and then probably hit up Ouray and kind of see what's there. So on our way to Engineers Pass, we passed through the town of Ouray. Same deal as Telluride, kind of a very small town, very cowboy-ish. Got that old school vibe to it. It's very cool. I didn't really stop here because I was kind of on a time crunch. It's a pretty far drive from Telluride to Ouray. It's, I can look it up, but I think it's a few hours, and then I had to do the pass and then drive a few hours back. So I didn't stop, but you can see here it's a very quaint town, very nice, very pretty. And it's definitely a cool, unique area, especially if you've never been out to a place like this. And then you can barely see in the background, but tons of beautiful mountains all the way surrounded the entire town. And this highway up to Engineers Pass is called $1 Million Highway, and it's one of the most beautiful drives that I've ever been on in my life. And obviously it's a paved highway, so you can drive any car on there. that's another place in Colorado that I suggest you get to if you can, because the views are just absolutely spectacular. Alright, so I think this is it. I think this is the beginning of Engineer Pass. So, here we go. I said this was going to be easy. This don't seem too easy. I forgot to turn the camera on, but I got up that one part. Continuing to go, I saw someone in a F-150, and they said it gets pretty bad up here, so that's why they turned around. But we'll see. We'll keep going. Aired down the tires. They're at 45 psi, which is like super high. I think it's maybe the altitude. So I aired them down to 25, and we're going here. Yeah, this must be what they're talking about. People in the Ford. This actually wasn't what they're talking about. It gets a lot more difficult further up the trail. So here I come into contact with a Gladiator coming down the trail. Now normally when you're off-roading, the people going uphill have the right of way because they might need to maintain momentum while going up the hill. But in this case, I didn't need to maintain any momentum, and there was a nice little pull-off right behind me, so I allowed the Jeep to pass, and that's something that you kind of have to figure out on the road and on the trail. And as someone who's new to off-roading, this is that I'm learning now, is to try to navigate the trail. And this is a shelf road that you'll see in a minute, so it'd be very difficult for the Jeep to either turn around or to go all the way back up. So even though I have the right of way, it was easier for me to just pull off. Sound crazy underneath you. Now here's the shelf road that I was talking about. A lot of people get freaked out on shelf roads. I think it's more of a psychological thing because there's always a huge cliff on one side, and that's the term, that's why they call them shelf roads. But they're honestly not too bad. I mean, this road is fairly wide. I don't really have any risk of going over the edge. This might be pretty sketchy if it was wet and rainy, but on a nice dry road like this, they're really not that bad. Again, I think it's more psychological than actual reality. A lot of people get freaked out, but like I said, this road, it wasn't too bad. So I think this might have been it, because they were talking about the abandoned mine. And they had to turn around right after this. But we'll see. So I kind of glanced over the history of these mines, but I'm just doing a little research now. And on Engineers Pass, these mines are the U and Ouray mines. They produce lead and silver from 1874 to 1903. They are some of the most productive mines in Colorado at the time, and they're basically the reason why Ouray as a town even exists. So I kind of glance over them here, but that's a quick background of the mines. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that this close to the edge.
Yeah, probably. I think I don't have enough ground clearance. I'd probably hit it. Yeah, this might be it. Maybe this is what they were talking about.
So this is the spot that the couple in the F-150 were telling me about. There's this really big rock on the road that I don't think I could clear. I don't have enough ground clearance to do it, and it's actually pretty close to the edge. And I was not going to take the risk of getting stuck or, tipping the vehicle and going off the edge here. Who knows if that would have happened, but, this is my first kind of off-road experience. I'm not very experienced at this point. Still not really to this day. But I decided that this wasn't safe, this wasn't good enough. I was by myself, I don't have a spotter, so I decided that I was going to reverse down to this one spot where it looked like I had just barely enough room to kind of do like, not a U-turn, a J-turn, but like a 15-point turn to finally get it turned around. So that's what I decided to do. And this is a time where obviously experience comes in big, and having someone else with you and a spotter comes in big. And also someone who knows the road. If someone had been here before and I was with them and they said, hey, I don't think your truck's going to make it, then we would have just stopped at the mine and went home. But I decided to keep going, and then, like I said, ended up getting stuck and having to turn around anyway. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear me breathing pretty heavily, because this actually was kind of nerve-wracking, and I kept smashing up the bottom of the truck. I don't even know what I was hitting. Now, luckily I didn't do any damage. I didn't break anything, but who knows what I was hitting. But this was actually a pretty nerve-wracking moment for me.
Ooh. Okay. That was fucking nerve-wracking. But yeah, that rock, it was a little too big, a little too close to the edge for my comfort. So we're gonna turn back around. That's okay, we got to see the mine, some cool views right here. And then maybe we'll stop in Ouray and maybe grab a beer or something. We still got to head back to the camp. It's actually like a 2-hour drive, so probably good that I stopped. See if I destroyed anything underneath when we get back to the camp. Coming down is definitely more sketchy than coming up. Not to mention this 1,000-foot drop to my left. We're off the trail now. We're heading back to the campsite. It's about an hour away, so see you there.
Alright guys, so that was the video for Engineered Pass. I didn't make it all the way up because, I don't have enough off-roading experience, in the truck I don't think was quite ready. As the time that I'm making this video, I actually ordered a lift kit, so I have a 3-inch lift kit coming, and maybe I'll go back to that pass one day with the lift kit and maybe some bigger tires, and I can actually complete it. But overall, it was still a good trip. It was a good pass. It was fun. If your vehicle's not that capable, kind of like mine is, at least at the moment, I would just go to the mine and then probably turn back around. You can still have great views. It was still a fun trail. I had a blast. But yeah, that was the video. Join me for the next video where I'm going to be doing Ophir Pass, which is actually easier to do, and it has better scenery. I also hike up to a lake that's up there, a nice alpine lake, and then I watched the sunset on that last dollar road again. So very beautiful scenery coming in the next video. I hope you guys join me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.